Hi guys, this is Mark from Epica, and you're watching the YouTube channel of Alejandrosis. And we come to Colombia the 25th of September, and we hope to see you all there in Medellin. Cheers!
La agrupación neerlandesa Epica retorna en concierto a Colombia este mes como parte de una extensa gira latinoamericana que también incluirá paradas en Brasil, Argentina, Uruguay, Chile, Perú, El Salvador y Panamá. En nuestro país, la cita será en la llamada Ciudad de la Eterna Primavera, más precisamente en el Teatro de la Universidad de Medellín, este jueves 25 de septiembre. Con el ánimo de enterarnos que viene a presentarnos en esta ocasión esta muy querida banda de metal sinfónico, hemos contactado a su líder, el guitarrista y cantante Mark Jansen. Es por eso que quiero invitarlos a que me acompañen durante los siguientes minutos en Alejandrosis. Sean ustedes bienvenidos. Quiero invitarlos a suscribirse al canal de Alejandrosis. Ya estamos cerca de los 5,000 suscriptores y eso nos alegra mucho contar con su apoyo. A su vez, a que me sigan la pista en mis diferentes redes sociales, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, bueno, en fin. Este mes vamos a tener ahí sorpresas, lanzamientos presenciales con discos muy especiales, aniversarios. Así que estén pendientes a mis redes sociales y bueno, si al final esta entrevista es de su agrado, un me gusta, un like, también claro que sí, nos ayuda bastante para seguir creciendo, para seguir expandiendo este mensaje de rock and roll. Epica es una banda que se conformó en el año 2002 a partir de la idea del guitarrista Mark Jansen, que previamente había hecho parte de un conjunto también muy popular, muy querido, After Forever, una banda que conjugó con muy buen gusto lo que es el sinfónico con el metal progresivo. De hecho, ahí conocimos muchos a la despampanante vocalista Floor Jansen, antes de que hiciese parte de la agrupación Nightwish. Pero Mark Jansen, ya con su propia banda Epica, fue más ambicioso en su idea, no solo quedándose en lo sinfónico, en lo operático, sino también agregando elementos del folk, del thrash, también encontrábamos algo de groove e incluso de death metal. Esto lo podemos patentar en trabajos como Consync to Oblivion del año 2005 o el trabajo con el que yo los conocí, The Divine Conspiracy del 2007. Otro que recuerdo mucho en este momento fue el siguiente, llamado Design Your Universe del 2009. Fue precisamente por esa época que el conjunto tuvo su debut aquí en Colombia. Pues bien, este señor se encuentra al momento de la entrevista que nos concedió en Sicilia, Italia, donde vive con su esposa, la cantante Laura Macri, que también hace parte de su proyecto paralelo Mayan. Y la primera inquietud tiene que ver con sus expectativas de lo que será esta actuación en Medellín, que marca un regreso a la capital antioqueña luego de 8 años. Escuchémoslo.
I remember the last time that the crowd was really amazing, so I expect this time no less than that. So if people are listening and they go to the show, then give me what I hope for, the full power, because the more passionate the people are, the more the band will be on fire, because it's a kind of an interactive process. And I expect actually to have really that great vibe again.
Wonderful. From your first show in Colombia in 28, you for September, I have counted in setlist that FM. You will count it 21 performances. This is amazing. And you even play in Colombia in other cities in that lapse of time, such as Cali, Medellin, Bucaramanga, not only Bogota. That statistically makes you one of the bands with most shows here and reaffirms the bond with the audience what your Colombian fans represents to you, and do you have maybe one anecdote that you want to share with us here in Colombia?
Yeah, that it's true that we have been already many times to Colombia, playing different cities, because most bands go, if they go, just to Bogota, and which is logical because bands usually pick the biggest city or the capital and then go to the next country. But we always like to explore and see also more of the country itself. And also one time when we went by bus to from one city to another, we could really see a lot of the Colombian countryside. And such travels I actually like the most, because when you go by plane, it's always the same. But when you go in a bus and you really see the scenery, that's what I truly enjoy. And then I'm not the guy who's all the time on the phone, but I'm actually looking around how the people live, how they do, and I like to observe. And so these travels, when it's really like in a bus going in the little roads in the mountains, these times I really enjoy. So yeah, there's not really an anecdote like a funny one or something, but more like the way I like to travel.
Excellent. One of the things I like more about the Epica shows is that many women attend, even more women than a regular metal concert. And
Yeah,
furthermore, several of these girls and women don't wear the usual clothes, they
yeah,
choose very well their wardrobe, the makeup very carefully. I
yeah.
confirmed this in a Rock al Parque festival, for example, a big gig. Definitely the Epica shows are very special. Do you think?
Yeah, I think that many women see Simone as a role model, and I think that she has a lot of responsibility that comes with that as well, because they see her as their example. So I think therefore that also many girls like to come to Epica shows to see, first of all, Simone. Of course, they often like to see us too, but mainly the role model Simone. That's the, for them, the role model. And some even dress a bit like Simone does, and some dress they're completely their own way. And for us, it's like everybody can dress the way they want. Everybody's free to dress the way they want and to be the way they want to be. And that's what we stand for. That's important for us. And that's also what metal in general, I think, stands for, that everybody find their spot and can be who they want to be. Because when I was at school myself and I listened to rock music, I was kind of an outsider. Like I didn't really fit in because I listened to metal and rock music. And the other kids, there was only one friend of mine listening also to metal and rock, and we were friends because of that. But all the other kids, they thought it was weird that we were weird kids because with long hair and listening to that weird music. But for us, it's like we wanted to be ourselves and not just do what other kids were doing. And that's what the way we still are. So when people come to our concerts, we want also them to be exactly the way they feel happy with. And that's what metal stands for. That's what Epica stands for. And that's what it's supposed to be, I think.
Epica es una banda que debe mucho de su popularidad en el viejo continente y aquí en Latinoamérica a los conciertos. Han lanzado varias producciones capturadas en vivo, tanto en DVD como en disco compacto. Y es que sus presentaciones pues, son bastante efusivas. Se percibe claramente la conexión que tiene con sus fanáticos, muy devotos, muy apasionados ellos, como lo hemos venido charlando con Mark. La última vez que yo vi a Epica en vivo fue en el marco del Festival Rock al Parque del año 2022, tal vez en diciembre, en la última jornada. En esa oportunidad, pues ahí estaba el sexteto en el escenario principal, en el escenario plaza, dándolo todo, con llamaradas, con un show que además, gracias a las ventajas que ofrece Rock al Parque de ser gratuito, pues le dio la oportunidad a muchas personas que a veces no tienen los recursos para adquirir una boleta de disfrutar, que sé que quedaron más enamorados que nunca. Pero bueno, siempre va a haber una primera vez. Sé que hay personas que me están viendo que no han tenido la oportunidad de ver a Épica y sobre todo ahí en la bella Medellín, acerca de la experiencia de lo que representa ver a este conjunto de los Países Bajos. Esto nos cuenta Mark Jansen.
Yeah, it's of course you have to see it with your own eyes and hear it with your own ears. But we always try to have fun on stage. So we enjoy what we are doing, and we don't hide that. So we don't want to be a band that looks always cool and serious, but we also joke, make jokes with each other on stage. But that's because we enjoy and we have fun. And that's, I think the people enjoy seeing that as well when they watch an Epica show, that they see that a band that has really fun in what they're doing and not just playing songs because they have to do that.
Okay, I just saw the video of the song Aspiral, who gives the name of your latest release. In fact, this is the last track of the album. And in the video, you play with the Symphonic Synergy Orchestra. It's amazing. In addition to the number of musicians, there is a great chorus of sopranos and even children. Please talk me a bit about this big production.
Yeah, we did 2 shows in Amsterdam and 2 in Mexico City, and 2 times with a different orchestra. In Mexico, there was a Mexican orchestra and a Mexican choir. And in the Netherlands, we had a Dutch choir and a Dutch orchestra. So it were 2 different orchestras, but basically the same show set up. So we had rehearsals. We did like 1 week of rehearsals with the choirs and the orchestra to make everything fit together, because there's a lot of preparation needed for that, for so many musicians playing all together and make that show successful. But then when it finally show day and it all comes together, that gives so much goosebumps, because that's how our music is written, with all these orchestral elements and this epic show elements. And when it all comes together and then it works the way we have imagined, then makes me also and all of us very proud.
Amazing. Even the Mexico, because it's different languages and you speak they're the same language, the music of language. It's amazing.
Yeah, and of course there a lot of communication goes in Spanish, because many musicians there don't speak so well English. So then there's a conductor who does like the translation from band to the musicians. And that works really well, because you need only a few words to make things work, and the rest musicians, they understand each other already without words. Musicians, they know what you want just by feeling already, by intuition.
Okay, I listened very carefully, Aspiral, and if you allow me, I heard a band very confident in their abilities, and of course with a extensive experience, but at the same time I feel that most of the compositions are more direct, more concise, and therefore memorable. Omega was a good record, but somewhat more complex, and here you can sense of freshness that moves more quickly to the point.
Yeah, I agree, and that was also one of the goals we had in mind with the new album, to have more compact songs, more direct sound. And of course, there's still some complex songs on the album, because that's also what Epica stands for. But it's more balanced out. And there's some songs that if we play them on festivals and people hear us for the first time, they already could get these songs on first listening. While if you play a song like Kingdom of Heaven on a festival, people are like, who don't know you, they're like, what is this? Then it's hard to process. So we try to find the right balance between complexity and straightforwardness.
Okay, I really like the mid-tempo Obsidian Heart, amazing. The breakdowns in Fight to Survive and the dynamics between the big chorus and guitars in Time, alongside with Simon Boyce. Your gutturals are heard in Time, but I don't know, Mark, it's my impression, or you are singing less in this new album?
Yeah, on this album is a bit less, but it's always with albums like we don't put grunts just to put grunts. A song has to ask for it. So if there's an album with a bit less grunts, then so be it. We always go with the flow. I don't have like this kind of ego to have to put grunts just to be on a song. Only when it makes sense, when it's an addition, when it's cool, then I want to add grunts. When a song doesn't need grunts or certain parts don't need grunts, I don't want to put it there just to because we're used to put it there. So maybe the next album has a bit more again, but it depends completely on the songs. If the songs ask for it, there will be grunts. If not, maybe even less. That's also possible.
Yeah, it's very democratic in the sense of the composition. Rob Van Der, Lou, Isaac, Cohen, and even the drummer, Arian, all participate in the credits. How do you maintain the album stylistic unit when you work together?
Yeah, that's where we call it like killing of the ego. When we work together, it's like egos don't matter. It's only the music that does the talking. And then it doesn't matter who comes up with an idea. It's like our idea, not from one egoic mind. It's our idea that arises and just goes through a vessel, and then the idea is in the song. And I like that way of working because then we also share all the music equally. So it doesn't matter if somebody wrote more than the other, everybody gets the same. And then also you have no unconscious fights about people pushing their own ideas because they maybe then think it's good, beneficial. We don't have all these discussions because everybody gets the same anyway, and it's only the music after all that matters.
Nice to hear that. Looking at the album credits too, I saw that you share equal parts on the lyrics with Simon. What inspired you lyrically this time?
Yeah, I get inspired by many things, by spirituality, but also the status of the world today, where there's a lot of challenges arising to the surface. There's a lot of turmoil. And if we manage in the lyrics to give that a spot and also a positive angle with where we can go and develop and come out of this turmoil, that's always what we try. So these things can inspire me to write, but I always try to find the positive aspects in everything. That there's always, whatever gets thrown to our feet, there's always a way to turn it around and make something positive out of it.
El año pasado, Simon Simons, luego de 8 discos con Épica y 20 años a su servicio, publicó su primera obra en calidad de solista, un trabajo denominado Vermilion, que con 10 canciones pues nos mostró otros colores en su voz, diferentes al esplendor sinfónico por el cual ya es bastante reconocida. Tuve la oportunidad de apreciar este disco y encontré ahí elementos electrónicos, pop oscuro, mucho de rock alternativo, una coproducción bien interesante que hizo de la mano del líder de Ayreon, el señor Arjen Lucassen. Al respecto, le pregunto a continuación a Mark Jansen si de pronto el éxito masivo que pudiese tener Simon Simons por su cuenta no le preocupa, de pronto no le llevaría a pensar en que ella abandone el barco y bueno, tengan que buscar una alternativa a la pelirroja. Y esto nos comentó.
At all. I think on the contrary that it helped her. I myself have also a side band, Mayan, so people are also not worried about that. I think actually that it enriches yourself to sometimes do something different. Then you come back with a more inspiration. And that happened to her too. She did her own album. She came back more fresh and with more inspiration than if she would have not done it. And actually she learned also from a lot of new things from working with Arjen Lucassen on her solo album. And the things she learned from him, she also used on the Epica album. And so I think in the end, there's only benefits from doing that. And I'm not worried, no, not worried at all.
Cool. Speaking of side projects, you talked me about Mayon, but also I read you had United Metal Minds. What
Yeah.
happened to that? And do you have any other than Epica in the works that you can talk to me right now?
Yeah, that's United Metal Minds. We are recording an album with many talented musicians that are pretty unknown. But we have recorded the music, but we are waiting for the vocalist. There were two main vocalists who had voice problems, who couldn't record previous year. Otherwise, it would have been finished already. And we want to wait first to see if they heal. And if they heal, they get the opportunity to sing themselves. If they don't heal the voice, then other singers will have to sing their parts. And then when it's ready, then the whole album is ready. And I also have my first band, After Forever. We're going to do 2 shows with that band in October in the Netherlands. So there's pretty much going on, and it's fun to play again some music with the old bandmates that I worked with back in the days from 1995 till 2002, 7 years with them. And so yeah, that's what I like too, some variation. But of course, Epica remains the main band, and that it's for Simone the same. She does the solo project, but Epica is our main band. For me too, I do some side activities, but Epica is my main band.
Perfecto, ahí estuvo la palabra de Mark Jansen. Qué tipo tan amable, ¿ah? Y bueno, quiero que en los comentarios ustedes me indiquen si ya han visto a Epica en vivo, si de pronto han tenido la oportunidad de verlo más de una vez, cuál es ese show que más tienen en el corazón. Ahora yo recuerdo una presentación de Epica, de las primeras que hizo en nuestro país, en el Teatro Metropol, centro de Bogotá, por allá año 2009-2010. Mi memoria es un poco borrosa. Esa entrañable sala estaba abarrotada. Qué maravilloso fue eso. Y bueno, Epica regresa 25 de septiembre, Teatro de la Universidad de Medellín. Espero estar ahí, encontrarme con ustedes en esa ciudad que tanto quiero para pasarla muy bien con este puntal del metal sinfónico. Mi nombre es Alejandro Bonilla. Quiero que me sigan en las diferentes redes sociales que tengo con más contenido relacionado. Nuevamente la invitación a que se suscriban al canal de Alejandrosis. Cada vez estamos más cerca de esa meta, 5.000 suscriptores. Muy pronto nos volvemos a encontrar aquí para hablar de la música que más nos gusta. Hasta pronto.